I am currently waiting for the Congresswoman to come on, and I'm sure she will be on shortly. So everybody just kind of hang in there, and we will have her on. I'm sure there's just a so let's try that. The microphone and the vMix switched off. So today was a big day. We've been clamoring and screaming and hollering for 77 million America First people to be heard. And part of being and pursuing RINOs, the RINO Removal Project, how does that come about? Well, it comes about because of anguish and feeling like we're the redheaded stepchild, feeling like we're never heard, going through 4 years of an installed, most liberal, corrupt president ever. It's almost like they did a 4-year experiment. So guys, give me 1 second. I am going to bring in the Congresswoman, Victoria Spartz. Just give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything is lined up, and then we will bring her in, and then we'll get going on the RINO Removal Project. Congresswoman, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Outstanding. Excellent. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being a part of the show. I know you've been pretty busy today. You caused a little bit of a stir the other day when you talked about the Republican chairs, the committees, and you wanting to focus primarily on doing what was best for America First. Could you walk us through a little bit of that and what was your thinking behind that?
Well, unfortunately, thank you for having me. Unfortunately, this Republic can only be saved from bottom up. And if we can bring transparency for the American people, and the American people have a mandate to my party to deliver, and President Trump is ready to do it. But if we don't do it through Congress, if Congress again is going to fail the American people, we're going to lose, and we're going to lose to a very Marxist group of people. So we need to be ready, and we cannot be just clowns and doing messaging and presentations. We need to govern, and we need to be able to pass laws. And I think that's what people expect us. And my responsibility to make my Republicans great again. And some of my colleagues told, I'll take mediocre. So I'm working on make Republicans mediocre again. So I'm sorry to say that my expectations is much lower. Congress, I had low expectations of Congress and it's exceeded it, but we're working on it.
Well, it's amazing after the 4 years that we've just went through under the Biden regime and just going through all the craziness from 2020 on. And people like me, so I'm a vet, a disabled vet. I love our country. I voted for Trump. This is my third time. And part of what caused the whole RINO removal project was because of the politicians that we elected who aren't doing the job. They're not doing what we ask them to go to Congress or D.C. to do. And, I look at you when we look at heritage scores. We're doing a deep dive into what the politician, what the elected official has done. You are 92%. You're America first. You care about doing what the people has asked you to do. Why is that so hard for today's Republican Party? Is it that rhino infested? Is it that much controlled by the establishment party?
Well, listen, it's all about the money, but honestly, I probably would be 100% if Heritage would really look at the deep end some of these bills. But I'll be honest with you, this is all about the money, and it's all about, unfortunately, my colleagues not having the courage to govern. It takes a lot of money to sell propaganda and tell lies to the American people, and the people are getting fed up. And people on the ground have said enough is enough. And unfortunately, money sell. They can sell messaging and money talk, and my colleagues are afraid of it. But we have to understand that this republic was built on the greatness of the people. This republic was built on something. We don't have people superior to us in Washington, D.C. We don't have political elites. We are not going to be servant to people on top of us, as oligarchs. We actually are free people, and each of us has a right to pursue our own happiness in whichever way we want. And I think this election was a true, very clear message that people got enough, and it takes some time for people to get upset, but people got upset and showed that we are not going to be lied to. We're not as stupid as politicians think, and you're not going to be selling us propaganda. And they elected President Trump to deliver. And this is our responsibility to deliver for him, and we cannot be afraid.
So that's so well said, and it's exactly what we're looking for from our America First people. So you're starting to see some of the brilliance of Trump and Doge and Elon, and I know you want to be a big part of the Doge component. And today we learned that it's not just us 77 million Americans. It's some of the fundamental pieces that Trump has put in place. Doge today played a massive role. Elon Musk is playing a massive role because now all of a sudden the pressure campaign is coming towards elected officials. And you know what, Congresswoman, this is what it's always supposed to be about, right?
That's right. That's right. We shouldn't have people be afraid of the government. We should have government being afraid of the people. And that was Elon is, there are a lot of things people talk about him. So I had very low expectations of him. When I met him, I was very impressed. He's very humble, very smart, very sharp, and he's a tough cookie. And I appreciate him willing to get engaged. He could make money and just enjoy his life. He doesn't need to have all this attention. But I truly appreciate that he cares. And he's also an immigrant, so he understands the values of freedoms and willing to fight for these freedoms. But he was very courageous and said, you know what? Politicians, you're going to run on this and you're going to sell that BS to the American people. You might be out for next 2 years. You are actually going to spend money against you. And that makes a lot of politicians nervous. When you have people and money make politicians nervous, they fold it. And you can see the result of his courage, determination, and true leadership. And we haven't had that leadership in the Republican Party for a very long time. And we have swamp, taken over the party. And we became like a RINO party, but we forgot who we serve and try to sell BS with the money. So I appreciate people like Elon and Vivek helping President Trump to deliver. And I'm glad he put it together because it's going to be very important.
So today, Speaker Johnson, who I have to tell you, I've been doing this for a long time. And as somebody who's watched Republican politics, I've always had questions about him as a leader. So today he comes out with a CR that's 1,547 pages. Not 26, not streamlined, because President Trump's taking over January 20th, 2025. And they try to push all this pork, all these earmarks, all this crap through. It's so much crap that the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, is thrilled. So Two questions. Is the CR going to pass as is? And I'm going to almost guess that that's a 0% chance. And two, how do you see Speaker Johnson? Because his next vote is up January 3rd, 2025. How do you see all that playing out?
I think, unfortunately, the leadership of our party forgot, that actually, we're a divided conference, but, we're divided government, but you have to remember about your own party, and they started appeasing the other side. And President Trump and a lot of people around him are reminded that, we actually have to deliver on issues for the people that voted for us. Even moderates got very upset with that. So people start questioning, do we have true leadership? And I think, I hate to say, but I think Speaker Johnson is digging his own grave by doing that. You cannot be disrespectful to your members. You cannot just try to think that you're going to make a deal with Democrats, appease Chuck Schumer, and you're going to jam your own people. And I think, people like feeling like it's enough is enough, and might have a rebellion. So it's going to be interesting for me to see how he's going to now convince people that they should go with him when he's only appeasing the other side. I truly disrespect, and that's what this institution turned into. When we have the bills coming from the speaker's office, and they think everyone else is irrelevant. That's why I had to make a statement. I'm so don't treat us like that. We all represent the same amount of people. We have a different skills we can bring to the table, but we have to be House of Representatives. We are not having kings and queens. Pelosi wanted to be a queen. McCarthy wanted to be a king. He figured out it didn't last very long. I think Johnson is making very big mistake. Try to think that he can be the king. It doesn't work. A lot of Americans die not to have kings and queens, and we are not going to stand up for that. We are not puppets to a few. We're freedom-loving Americans, and we are not going to be oppressed by the money and power. And this is what is really the essence of being an American. If we lose that essence, if we become puppets to very few on top and become an oligarchy, we're going to lose this republic. And I'm very encouraged and very happy to see that Americans are willing to stand up. So I have a very high hopes for this republic.
So that's so well said. And are you guys feeling it also? Because we're feeling here at home, and we're not in DC, but we follow this stuff pretty closely. We're on X, and Elon has really opened up free speech. So it's not just that he opened up free speech and helped fight for it, but now he's playing this massive role where he's coming in now over the top, and he's somebody that can't be denied. The politicians, Speaker Johnson wants to take all these photo ops. He wants to take all these, be with Trump and Vivek and Elon and do all these things. But at the end of the day, isn't an elected official just basically known, and shouldn't they be evaluated by just their performance, how they vote, what they do for the American people? I mean, isn't that kind of the fundamental philosophy that we're looking for right now?
Well, it is, and you have to be lobby for the people. You represent the people, not very few, and you don't think you're not like superior class. And it's kind of interesting to see, Speaker Johnson, as the Speaker of the House, he's supposed to be a very powerful person, but if you think about that, he doesn't even have the power to have a serious conversations. He falls under pressure every time. And unfortunately, he's a very brilliant person. He is a very good human being, but he's not a street fighter. And we're dealing with a mob. And President Trump understand what the mob is, and it will take a street fighter. We're in the battle, we're in the war to win for the future of this republic. And we'll take some tough cookies. So Elon, he's not afraid. He doesn't need anything from the swamp. He's not afraid to say, you know what? You're going to forget what you promised to the people. You're going to lose your election, and I'm going to get engaged, and people get nervous. And that was through leadership, when you're going to say, we're going to do the right thing, regardless of consequences. And we're going to go on the ground and win for the people, not for the few that paying us money. So having people like President Trump that don't need to have anything from this swamp, having people like Elon Musk that are true rebellious free thinkers and truly love this country and appreciate what we are about, it's really a blessing that we have. But I think the only thing that we can do to help them, it's to bring these policies and ideas in our code that they have a long-term effect, not just effect for 4 years when the swamp is going to slow work all of this and then go back to business. That is responsibility of Congress, and we need to do whatever it takes to deliver on these policies in our code.
So we are on tonight with our special guest, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, Indiana District 5. And this is the RINO removal project. And Congresswoman, I had seen your post the other day, and I posted on it. I said, I love this when you came out and said what you said. Because it's not enough for the people on the outside to fight. We also need the people who've been elected on the inside to fight. You have to fight this from both ends because the establishment is strong. I mean, you see the people that's in place. You see the Senate Majority Leader is at 42%. You see people that are at 17%. You see people who vote more with Democrats than they do Republicans. And it's because of, like you said, the money. Now we need street fighters. We need people who are going to roll up their sleeves and not be afraid of the fray or afraid of what it makes them look like. Trump has proved himself. Have you ever seen anything more incredible in your whole life than what he's went through? the assassination attempts, the felony charges, everything they've thrown at him. And he's come out the other end, and he's come out even stronger. And I think that's a testament to where the people want to see our political party go. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yes, and that was really American. Every battle makes us stronger. We're tough, we're strong, we're resilient, we're innovative. And that's what the greatness of our country. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter if you're, immigrant or you're born here, woman, man, black, it doesn't matter. You are free, strong American, and no one is going to tell you what to do because you're going to pursue your happiness. You don't harm other people. You respect everyone's freedoms, but your freedoms are going to be protected, and they're protected by our Constitution, by our Second Amendment right, and no government is going to tell you what to do. But that's what makes our country the greatest in the world, the people. There is no difference between the people. People are the same around the world. The greatness of the country, it comes from the freedoms. And we have to cherish and teach our children, to fight for our freedoms, because if we don't, then we'll have to die for our freedoms. And too many Americans did for that. We need to appreciate it. So I think we have a lot of great people right now in administration that truly feel the same way. I think President Trump is the right person for these times. He has a toughness, he has courage, he has stamina, he has vision. And he loves this country. He wants to make sure that we're going to be the greatest country in the world for all Americans, not for few just voted for him. He's willing to fight for every American. And it is a responsibility of this Congress, and we need to do whatever it takes to force these corrupt institutions to govern. So I think the people need to tell this institution to put their money where their mouth is or get the hell out of their way. And that was this American. That is the true American spirit, and we have to remind that what we are about. We are rebellious, we're strong, we're crossing oceans for freedoms. I came with one suitcase, and idealistic young person, believe in these ideas and ideals, and I'm not going to give up on that. And I'm going to make our country even greater each generations, and we need to make sure that our generations have even better country for the future generations, because they will fight to fight my own battles. I always tell my kids, you know what? You better toughen up. You'll have a lot of battles to fight. I'm fighting it for people that sacrifice for our republic, but you're going to be fighting your own battles, and we need to teach them, because If America is strong, the rest of the world will be stable and strong, and we cannot weaken our country. And I truly believe God sent us the right leaders, and whatever happened, it's really truly will of God. A lot of people like President Trump, people like me, probably wouldn't be here in these positions if it wouldn't be for God. And we cannot let American people and God down. So we have to succeed.
That's, I'm a huge believer in God and His Son, and especially this time of the year. And usually this time of the year is kind of tough. I lost my mom December 19th, 2007. So as I get close to the holidays, I start thinking about her, and I start thinking about our children and our grandchildren. And I start thinking about, why is it so hard for Republican leaders to get away from the establishment or the money and just do what's right? There's a great sense of pride that I'm sure you get being, an immigrant that's come to our country. My grandfather was from Hungary. My grandma was from Czechoslovakia. So I know exactly, my last name is Breznicki. So I know exactly what it's like to come here and have my family come here. But to be an American who fought for my country, love my country, and do everything I can to support it. But don't you think right now our biggest obstacle are the RINOs? Do they understand how much of a target they have on their back right now? Do you think you get that sense from them?
I think they get in the memo. I think what we're doing, you need to teach people a lesson. And unfortunately, when life gets easier, a lot of people stop appreciating all of the freedoms they have. And we have to remind who is in charge. And American people are in charge. And American people send a very sounding message that we can be nice and here and there. And, but at some point, enough is enough. We're going to get up and make a difference. And we need to make sure that we keep our constitution strong, that the people have the difference, because it's all about the system. And our system allows every American have an input in election. Every American have a right to express their opinion. And if we're going to lose that right, if we allow the tyranny of the government and oppression to succeed and give up our rights and not stand up for that, then we're going to lose this republic. But I think it was a very strong message. No matter what they're trying to do, no matter how they try to intimidate people said, oh, that's too much. So America has an ability to rebound. America has an ability when you go too much, it's like, oh, wait a second, that is a little bit too much. But I think we need to bring more stability. We cannot have what's happening right now. And we need to teach our children, truly, our children need to get stronger, because the brightest thing that can happen only can happen in this country if we have freedoms. And that is the most important thing.
So a lot ahead of us right now. And Trump comes in January 20th. How do you see stuff playing through? So we have how many days? 32 days till the inauguration. Do you see the CR getting cut back after the onslaught today from Elon and all the people on social media? I know there's been no scheduled meetings tonight, right? Have you heard anything from the leadership, like from Johnson or anybody? What are the next steps? What are they expecting from you guys?
Well, I think they're scrambling, which is a good thing. I think that, they got the memo. Sometimes you have to teach them a lesson, right? But ultimately, we cannot be governing through CRs. We cannot be governing through, all of this messaging things. We need to have a plan. And I think that is going to be responsibility of my party to deliver on this plan and have good policies. And we don't have as much time. I think next year, that's the time that we have, less than a year. So we have to work on laws, actually writing policies. And that is going to be responsibility of Congress, responsibility of administration. And we have to work together to be able to deliver on that. So my job is to make sure that my party is able to put their money where mouth is. We can complain about a lot of Congresses. They were broken. We can say, oh, they were terrible. They didn't do this and this. But ultimately, God put us in the position to be this Congress. So we're going to say, you know what, we were another Congress to fail this Republican American people, or we actually a Congress that did something for the people. And I think we have the right alignment of the stars, because God always has some plan. I truly believe. And I truly believe God loves our republic, no matter how hard things, being here. But because we have good freedom loving people, and God always stays on the right side of history. I always say, I don't matter. It doesn't matter where media on which side. It doesn't matter where the swamp which side. As long as God and guys and girls with guns on our side, that's what it matters. That was really matters. And I truly believe He really cares about what this republic is about, because we believe in the goodness, we believe in the right values, and He's given us a chance to get us back on track. He put people in this position for a reason. We're not perfect, we are normal, ordinary individuals with extraordinary responsibilities, which is that's how it's meant to be. We're not like this, this is like when Alexis de Tocqueville came to America, like a French aristocrat. And I think all of Americans should read this book. Our kids should read this book. I read this book when I was young about the democracy of America. He was surprised. He said, oh my gosh, like in France, all of these aristocrats become into governments. You have normal people wearing normal clothes, stay in normal hotels, stay running this country. He was surprised. But that what makes us great, because we are connected to the people. We are understanding where the people are and actually governing for them. And God put us in this position, and leaders who are willing to have the backbone to get us back on track. So I truly believe God loves our republic, and He gave us a chance, and we cannot let people down. So I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic what's happening in this CR and what's happening right now. It's really a testament to, no matter how deep the swamp is, no matter how powerful these people think they are, the power of the people, it still prevails in our republic. And it makes me even more optimistic. And I hope more Americans are going to pay attention, but we cannot relax. We have to fight and make sure we put pressure on the elected officials that represent us.
Well, Congresswoman, your timing was perfect, because when you came out with that post, and when you came out with how you weren't going to caucus, but you are Republican. You're a strong America First Republican. So when I read your post, other people were like, oh my God, look at what she's doing. Look at what they're doing. And I'm like, no, look at what she's doing. She's fighting from within. She's trying to show you guys that she doesn't want to play their games anymore, the establishment games. She wants people to stand up and be America first. The American people voted for a mandate. We said, we want Donald Trump. We want America first. We want to make America great again. Well, don't you agree that RINOs are probably the biggest obstacle to whether or not MAGA or America First is going to catch on and become the number one Republican Party, or the most important part of our party as we move forward?
No, I completely agree with you. And it's all about, a lot of people don't understand that, that it's we have a lot of people here who are afraid to govern, who are afraid to challenge the status quo. And at least Bernie Sanders is honest, that he's socialist. I actually might disagree with him, but I appreciate his honesty. We have a lot of people who are liars, hypocrites here. And I think we need to call them out. We need to make sure that we are not lying to the people. People are not as stupid as politicians think. They try to think they are. Most people here, you wouldn't pay them $10 an hour. But they think that they can be superior to all of us. And that's why a lot of special interest groups love people that don't know what they're doing. But that is not what is American. We are strong Americans, and we need to make sure that we send the message back that we're not going to be puppets to money and big machine. We're not going to be intimidated. We have courage to do the right thing. And that's what President Trump is trying to show, that no matter, I mean, honestly, he's a very extraordinary individual to go through so much as he went through. A lot of people wouldn't be able, I'm a tough cookie, but oh my gosh, he's really a true tough cookie. But that was really American. He showed us what it means to be an American, what it means to care about the people, what it means to fight for our freedoms and keep our country free. And we need to stand up with him, and we need to back him up to do that. And unfortunately, a lot of my party are very true hypocrites. And we cannot be afraid to say the truth, because this swamp is not going to be drained in Washington, D.C. It only can be drained if we have people on the ground put pressure on the politician. If we actually have the American people standing up and saying enough is enough, and we need to bring transparency. And unfortunately, there is no other way to fix this institution as actually get American people on board and put pressure on politicians.
So that's a great segue, Congresswoman. As you see, the name of the show is the RINO Removal Project. And it's a bunch of grassroots people. We have hundreds now that have come on board, where we want to go and we want to chase primary people. We want to chase going after rhinos and getting them out of office, at least primary challenge them, bring awareness, bring pressure campaigns. I'll get you out of here with this last couple of questions, Congressman. I know you're busy. Can you hear? Is everything good?
I can hear.
You can hear.
I can hear. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Well, now we're taking a look just to see if we can hear. Make sure everybody can hear.
Here's something here.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Well, I blame the technology. I cannot hear you very well, but
How about now? Is that better? Let's do this, because I know you're busy. Can you hear me a little bit?
I can hear you on the other speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so at least I can hear you. So I appreciate what you do, because honestly, it will take people like you are that actually willing to have an honest conversation, and that is the beauty, of direct communication with the people, which we didn't have before.
So, Congresswoman, let me get you out on these last two things. One, we need support from people like yourself who really want to see change. And this whole RINO removal project is important because we want to pursue not only primary challengers, but we want to pursue term limits. We want to pursue no stock trading. We want to try to make it so that when elected officials are going to D.C., they're going there to support the people. Is that something that you support and that you feel confident in?
Listen, if we don't have a system when normal individuals feel that it's a duty to the republic and they have an ability to get elected to these offices to serve the people, we're going to lose this country. And it's not just federal level, state, local level. We need to decide as an Americans, how are we going to figure out how normal individual can actually get elected to these offices, because it becoming a system, you are the independently wealthy who are going to buy this election, and which is not a good thing too, because not everyone they're buying for right reasons, okay? Or you are so incapable that machine is willing to spend some money, and you're going to be a puppet to them. So normal American has barely ability to actually get elected. And this is at its federal level, state level, local level, because federal government take a lot of control of the states and locals through buying, corrupt politicians, both parties. So I think this is a very noble cause, what you have. How can we help true patriots, true people that care about this country, do something as a tour of duty? This is a great honor, but a huge responsibility. Serving the people, delivering for the people, it's not easy. And it should never be easy. That's why you shouldn't be here for 40 years. You should do your duty and go live the laws that you legislated. We need to bring that spirit back. We need to bring that responsibility and teach our children. That's what is important. That's what makes our country great. I appreciate what you're doing, and I think we need to do more of it. But what's happening right now, no matter how corrupt the media is, no matter how much money they're spending to lie to people, people got enough. And I think this movement, that MAGA movement, a lot of people that came through for President Trump showed that the power of the money, the power of this media and corruption is not as big as they thought. I think they learned the message and they learned the memo, but we need to deliver and make sure that we can actually bring more even results.
No, thank you very much, Congressman. I know this is going to be something I'll be reaching out to you. It's exciting when the grassroots, when the people rise up and we meet our politicians halfway. And we see somebody like you who's fighting from inside, and then here's us who's fighting on the outside. And when we come together, we create one holistic, great entity. And we go after the rhinos. And I'm going to tell you, 50%, half of the equation is making them understand we're not going to do business as usual anymore. You agree?
I agree with you, but I'll tell you, you guys have so much power. I'm a great testament to my party fought me more than, they spend as much money as the other side, okay? So the leadership and establishment of my party, they don't like women like me, like independent thinkers who actually work in Chugam at the same time. And they actually, they want women for pictures op, right? They want women fighting in the trenches. We're a danger to them. So it was interesting because, they spend money. Democrats spend money. Enormous amount of money. And they thought, I'm not going to win. And I truly won because of people on the ground. This is a true testament to the American people say, no, we have enough. We want someone who's going to fight for them. And this is that's why I'll never let people down. This is kind of shows the American spirit that the money, the machine, the establishment is not going to prevail if we're willing to pay attention. And it's a lesson to them. President Trump is a lesson to them. Look how many establishment people tried to take him down, how much media tried to take him down, how much they did. So this is what shows what is the beauty of our country. Now they're all trying to be nice. But we need to make sure that we keep that spirit and strength with our children and strengthen them, because they will fight a lot of battles. But I truly believe this experiment, this great republic, was created by true fighters. This is amazing. And I think we cannot let it fail, and we cannot be generations that let it fail. So next year is going to be a testament, but also a test to us. And I hope people like you are, and people, that listen in your show are going to be paying attention, because we are not going to fail.
That's perfectly said. Congressman, I'm going to get you out on this last question. If Johnson doesn't get the votes January 3rd, do we have any America First players in the House who would be able to secure enough votes if Johnson does not get elected back to Speaker?
Let me tell you some funny thing. You actually, not funny, but it's true. You don't have to be in the House to be Speaker of the House. Any American, can actually be Speaker of the House. I was kind of making fun and joking with Elon Musk. I said, listen, you're not going to help me. I'm going to nominate you for Speaker. And I know some people who will give us second my nominations. But honestly, we have a lot of great people. who will be willing to fight. So I think Speaker Johnson need to make his case, what he's going to do. And if he's not able to govern and have the backbone, I'm sure we have a lot of great people who can take that place. And I truly believe, actually, it's not a bad idea to have someone not within this institution from some outside with fresh ideas, maybe govern this institution. Because it's unprecedented times. We never had before someone who is not member of the House be Speaker of the House, but it's actually in our law. You don't have to. In America, you can be the Speaker of the House, and that's actually might be a good thing.
Congresswoman, you've become one of my favorite politicians on the Republican side tonight. I was enamored the other day when I saw your post, and I had to respond. And now that I've got to talk with you, we need more people like you. We need that fight. We need that spirit. We need that ability to look at the establishment leaders and say, no, we're not going to do it your way anymore. We're going to do it this way. So I just think you're fantastic, and I hope to God I get to talk to you more. And I can't thank you enough for joining me tonight and joining our listeners, because I'm sure they've enjoyed every second of this interview.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate for true fighters and warriors, because I truly believe that's what's really American, and I truly believe in our spirit, and I am not going to let us fail, not under my watch, not under President Trump watch, and a lot of great people, because this is what makes us great. And I appreciate so much that what you do, because this is information and have an honest conversation. That is extremely important in this world, and I'm very humbled to be part of it, and I'll do my part, but I'll take responsibility for this institution and this Congress. So it's on my shoulders. If God puts me, in this situation, so I have to deliver it. And then I'm going to deliver some great things, and I'm going to drink champagne on the beach and help some good people to continue these great causes. So we're going to do that. But I think this republic it's truly loved by God to be able to get some good people like President Trump to be able to win this election and get us back on track. And I thank you so much for what you do. And I thank you so much for good Americans to really willing to go in the trenches, because the wars are won in the trenches. We cannot win every battle, but we're going to win this war. I have no doubt.
You know what? I don't even want to try to say anything after that. Listen, Congresswoman, God bless you. I'll be reaching out to you, because we need people like you on the RINO removal project. And thank you so much for your time tonight. Have a very Merry Christmas, okay?
God bless you, and have a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless the United States of America, and we are going to succeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. So Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, what a great, great lady. My God, I became, I don't know, is it okay to be a fanboy sometimes? When you get near somebody who cares and loves our country and wants to do what's best, it's exciting. And when we see it, and you're able to talk with them, and you're able to understand and listen to them, it becomes it's not just exciting, but it's eye-opening. You get to understand that there are fighters in our GOP. There are people who care about our country. There are people who want MAGA. They want America first. She brought up a great point. You don't have to be an elected official to be the speaker. Who would like to see Speaker Elon Musk or Speaker Vivek? I would. I think that would be outstanding. You're seeing, when I talk about the Great Reset, you're seeing it from a conservative standpoint. And it's important because we are trying to do the things to set up the future of America. And it's only going to happen, like she said. You have to be willing to get into a street fight. You have to be willing to fight the mob. You have to be willing to put your ass out there to get shot off a little bit. I mean, we all do, right? Under Biden's regime, you had no idea if the posts you put out, or just because you said he was corrupt or evil or conspiracy theory or January 6th, there was always a chance there'd be a knock at the door, right? Well, now what we've seen is we've come out the other side. It's almost like the Shawshank Redemption. Remember that? When Timothy Robbins crawled through the sewer and he came out in the rain. So he crawled through the shit to get to the other side because he wanted to make a difference. He wanted to be free because he was never guilty. Trump just wanted an opportunity to be president again because he wanted to save the country. Elon and Trump and Vivek, these guys don't need these jobs. They've got money out the yin-yang. They're doing it because he's trying to set up J.D. Vance. He's trying to set up the young gun Republicans, the Corey Mills and the Eli Cranes and the MTGs and some of the other people that are there, Burleson and Schmidt and some of these people, Thomas Massey. You're seeing people flip, and they're not afraid anymore to go up to the establishment and say, yeah, not no more. No more. We're not going to put up with this shit no more. You heard her tonight talk about the RINO removal project and why people like us make a difference. We are the difference makers. We are the change. We are the storm. We are going to pursue every RINO. We're going to do it, and we're going to build a conglomerate of people. We're going to bring everybody of different backgrounds and different religions and different socioeconomical situations. We're going to bring them into the fray because we all have a common goal. The common goal is for us to finally have a constitutional republic, what our forefathers thought would be the backbone and the principle and the pillars of our country. The RINO removal project is important only because you guys that are watching, you people that want to be a part of it, you people that want to join the community, you guys who want to be feet on the street. I've got so many great ideas, and there's so many people coming to play. I want to create what I call in-your-face campaign, where we put up billboards. We put up 42% heritage score like I send out on X. We want to plaster it. We want to educate people. We want to let people know who the RINOs are. Then we want to let people know who the people are like Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. We have to embrace people. And you're not going to agree with everything that anybody says. But if you're getting 80 or 90% of what it is that you find important, isn't that enough? Isn't that where we should start? So special thanks goes out to Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. What a great lady. And she made me understand that what we're doing is valid and it is important. Her office reached out to me after I responded to her post. We need elected officials who care about what the people think. Not what all the huge million-plus accounts think. They're important, and some of them are great. And they're due their respect because they've earned it. Those that just do it for the hell of it, that's what I call the me first movement, and we don't need them. We need people like the Congresswoman. We need people like some of the great accounts that are out there who take the time of day because they know the power is in the many, not the one or the few. I'm proud of you guys, and I'm proud to be a part of this fight. I'm proud to know that I voted for President Trump. I'm proud to have seen Elon take over X and for me to stay steadfast on this account. I'm proud to have built relationships with people that have 10 followers and people that have millions. I'm proud to be an American, and I'm proud to put America first. My friends, as always, stand tall and be accountable. We are fighting back against the machine, and we're winning. Okay? These are battles, and you heard the Congresswoman say, we may lose a battle here and there, but we're going to win the war, and we absolutely are. So become involved. Look at the Scott Presslers of the world. Look at the people that are out there. Some of the great accounts. Some of the people that's reached out to me. Anikami. Gunther. So many other big accounts. Who, you know what? They know right now is our time. Right now. We have a lot in front of us. We have a lot to do. Tomorrow, like I said earlier, is a solemn day. It's the day my mom died. And it takes me back to that day a lot. And I remember how she fought for every last breath. And by God, I'm gonna make sure I make her proud. And as the RINO Removal Project, we are going to fight. We're going to fight every establishment, every RINO, every person that's below a 75% heritage score, every person that wants to be 50 years in politics. No. That's going to change. That's over. Johnson learned today. Mike, no Johnson Johnson. All the photo ops, all the things that he did. And how does he repay Trump and Elon? He tries to give him the middle finger and ram through a 1,547 page CR. You know what, Mike? You're not going to survive. And the Congresswoman brought up great points tonight. And maybe that is something we need to think about as our next Speaker of the House. Elon Musk, Vivek. We have change agents in our midst. We have people that are out there. And we have people that are fighting for us. So as always, my friends, you will hear and see primary challengers coming onto this show. You will see Congress people who are fighting against the machine. And you will see people who believe rhinos need to become extinct. So as always, this is Leo the Lion. This is the first RINO Removal Project broadcast. Follow us on our community, get involved, and be a part of the storm, be a part of the change. And as always, my friends, make sure you roar loud enough that they can hear you.